Well, by golly, this show still hasn't been canceled yet, so I showed up to work, and Megan showed up to work, and here we are working on this Tuesday, the second day of April 2019. I'm Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life channel. We hope you end your day with us here on the NCW Life channel. We got live boys soccer tonight. The Wenatchee Panthers host their rivals from the Columbia Basin, the Moses Lake Chiefs. We'll have that game live here shortly before 7 o'clock tonight on the NCW Live channel. Sebastian Maraga and Matt Wisen on the call. And then right after soccer, stick around and watch the news with Grant Olson at 10 o'clock tonight. Also on at 5 and 6 for that matter. Good show for today. Busy show. Alan Walker, the executive director of the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council, will be on this program in the second half. We taped our interview with Alan last week. They have a very, very important survey. They do it every 3 years, and they want everybody in the Chelan and Douglas County areas to participate in this survey. It doesn't take any time. It's all online. It's a piece of cake. That sounds good about now. Nice big piece of cake. Anyway, Alan will be joining us in the second half of the program. Plus, we got news. Plus, we got sports. The Mariners just keep right on winning. This is fun. They're off to the best start in 25 years, something like that. King Felix got his first victory since June. We'll talk about the Mariners when we get to sports. Also, we'll do the latest high school sports. It's spring break, so the sports schedule is pretty quiet, all things considered. We also have the obscure holiday today in history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion. And yes, tickets to The Illusionists. Yeah, the big magic show. It's kind of a magic show. It's just a show. Yes, it's got magic, smoke and mirrors, all that cool stuff. It's going to be a great show. It's this Thursday night at the Town Toyota Center. And I got 2 pairs of tickets. We're going to get 2 winners. I mentioned this yesterday. I'll mention it right now. We have an email address. It's called winner@ncwlife.com. Winner@ncwlife.com. It's 1 entry per email address, please. There it is, winner@ncwlife.com. And we're going to print up all the emails. You don't have to put a subject line or anything. Just let us know how to get a hold of you. And tomorrow morning, at the very close of this program, shortly before 8 o'clock, I'm going to draw 2 names out of the proverbial hat. And those 2 people will each win a pair of tickets to see The Illusionists Thursday night at the Town Toyota Center. Again, winner@ncwlife.com. Winner@ncwlife.com. 1 entry per email address, please. Employees of Solion Broadcasting and their immediate families are not eligible. And by the way, we have one more fairly decent day of weather, but boy, are we going to get wet. Now, we're behind on the rain this time of the year. We usually have April showers. We usually have March showers. We didn't have March showers. We had March snow. We're in for a pretty wet period of weather coming up, starting by basically Thursday and lasting really all the way into the weekend with the heaviest rain coming down on Friday. Forecast details are coming up, but first things first, around the Valley we go with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless. Whenever we can get the cross camera, we use it first, batting lead off. It's looking good. The trees are starting to bud out a little bit. With this warmer than normal weather, we had 65 was our high on Monday. We'll take that. Our normal high is 59. So we were 6 degrees above normal yesterday. Our low yesterday was 39. Our normal low, 39. We'd like that. Beautiful view of the Wenatchee Valley. Again, this camera is right adjacent to the cross at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights as the sun is getting the job done. I guess the only thing that's really glucking up the skies in the air is these controlled burns. There's a lot of those going on. If you drive around the Wenatchee Valley, you'll see that big stack of old orchard wood being torched. That's really all there is out there. Camera 2, where are we going, Megan? We're going to see the Waterville camera pointing down towards the Wenatchee Valley. Look at the snow continuing to recede. Like my hairline, you can see the Antioch River as it empties into the Columbia. Way down there on the far left is the Wenatchee Valley. That is just an incredible view. Just stunning. You got to love that. And of course, we didn't have any flooding. We're pretty much done with that. The snow's all but gone for 2 reasons. Number one, the rivers and the streams were able to absorb the snowmelt because they're lower than they would normally be this time of year. Number 2, the ground could take it because it was such a gradual, slow snowmelt that the ground was able to absorb the melted snow as opposed to running off in other directions. So good news there. Unbelievable view from the top of Pine Canyon. Camera 3. We're going to go pay a visit to McNeil Canyon. Not too far from the camera you just saw, but that one is pointed directly to the west so we can see Lake Chelan. I'm told Lake Chelan is full of water most of the time. That's my understanding anyway. Good time to go up and visit Lake Chelan, by the way. Gorgeous view up there. As you can see, the snow is still hanging around at the very peaks. Lake Chelan in the middle of your screen. That's from the top of McNeil Canyon, who of course was named after McNeil Canyon. And finally, camera 4. Hello, good morning, Kashmir. Kashmir? Da-da-da-da, is that correct? Yes, it is. Beautiful Kashmir, Washington. Looking good. I think that's from our monitor camera. I'm not sure. Maybe Steins Hill. I don't know. It's up there. That's Kashmir. Pretty recognizable. That's our tour from around north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley on a good-looking Tuesday, but things are going to change. And not a big dramatic change. There's a system out there. It's kind of poking its way on up to the Wenatchee Valley, but it's going to come, and it's going to bring us some rain from the National Weather Service. Here's your forecast. Not a bad day today. Quiet, pretty mild, 66 under partly cloudy skies. Then the arrival of that system I've been talking about. It happens later on tonight and Wednesday especially. So we have an increasing chance of rain on Wednesday. Also going to be a little breezy at times. Gusty winds expected perhaps on Wednesday, and gusts up near 20 miles an hour. So going to be calm for the most part, and then as the day progresses Wednesday, the clouds are going to thicken up. We could get some rain in the afternoon hours. Wednesday night, a little bit of rain. Thursday, a little bit of rain. In fact, we have a slide from the National Weather Service that was provided to us to give us an idea of what kind of rain we're getting. The timeline that you see here, look for where you live, and that's how much rain you're going to get. That's basically from Thursday night, when our chance of showers goes up to 50%, all the way through Saturday. So this is Thursday night through Saturday with the heaviest rain expected on Friday and Friday night. We have about an 85% chance of measurable rain, excuse me, on Friday and Friday night. So the rain hit and miss Wednesday night and into Thursday. Thursday night, the chance of rain increases. Friday, it increases even more. We're going to have showers Friday night, showers likely on Saturday, right on into Sunday. So it's not a big dramatic storm, but it's going to bring us unsettled weather and an increasing chance of showers. So the nicest day of the week going to be today, if you like the sunshine. And the sun is pretty much going to be taking the rest of the week off and into the weekend. And we need the rain, believe it or not. We could use a little bit of rain. We're behind the 8 ball on that. Again, best chance of measurable rain that's going to come down and make things a little on the goofy side is going to be Friday and Friday afternoon into Friday night. But everybody's going to get some light showers really off and on starting Wednesday night, right on in to Thursday. It is 8 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We have fair skies, 37 degrees. Again, it's not going to last. Get out and enjoy it while you can. We're going to take a break, and when we come back in 1 minute, your Tuesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
For the first time in history, the world's greatest magicians come together live on stage. The Illusionists. This high-tech magic spectacular has shattered box office records and dazzled audiences of all ages across the globe. See them before they disappear. The Illusionists, live from Broadway.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
And we are back 10 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday. I am Dan Kuntz. Fair skies, a chilly 37 degrees. Partly cloudy skies today, highs in the mid-60s. The clouds roll in tonight. Hit and miss intermittent showers starting basically Wednesday and lasting all the way through Monday of next week with some gusty winds at times as well. Here's what's making headlines on this Tuesday. For a long, long time, many, many years, it's been the lack of sewer systems that have stymied any plans for economic development north of East Wenatchee near the Otabashian Bridge. But a Douglas County official says funding for the Wenatchee Landing Sewer Extension Project it's been included in the proposed state capital budget. Commissioner Dan Sutton says the $1 million allotted for the project will be well used.
The importance of that area to Douglas County as a whole is getting the right infrastructure out there to encourage good development. You know, we're going to grow. This area is going to grow. It really doesn't matter if we're pro-growth or not pro-growth. It's going to happen. And my stance has always been to get out in front of it and manage it well. And this can be an opportunity to backfill some of that sparsely filled area with housing, which, of course, everybody knows we desperately need in the county. And then also open it up to some commercial / retail / other yet unimagined opportunities out there.
The Wenatchee Landing, that's Wenatchee spelt with an I, is the name attached to that large area of land previously referred to as the North End Study Plan. The plan is a blueprint to create a regional job center and tourist recreation destination at the north end of the East Wenatchee urban growth area.
Somebody who wants to move a business or a company or some sort of process like that over here really wants to see that the Douglas County area is committed as well and helping get some infrastructure out there. Basically, it gives Douglas County some financial stability long term, because as different parts of the area become city instead of county, then your revenues change. And as a commissioner, I think it's incumbent upon me to make sure that we're staying sound, financially and business sound and whole in Douglas County.
Dan Sutton says the area's future development would benefit both sides of the Columbia River in terms of additional housing and jobs. Martin Barron, who's a longtime Wenatchee resident and community volunteer, has announced his decision to run for a position on the Wenatchee School District Board of Directors come November of this year. He said in a Saturday news release he will not be opposing Laura Jake's announced candidacy. Barron states, and I quote, "There is no economic and social endeavor that is more important to the future welfare of our community than the invested effort and resources in K-12 education. Our Wenatchee community is diverse in many ways, and all students deserve to be treated with equal value," end quote. Barron was employed at Pipkin Construction as chief financial officer for 19 years. Prior to that, he served as vice president of Dole Fresh Fruit Company, Northwest. Meanwhile, three-term Eastmont School Board member Michelle Wright announced that she's going to run for a fourth term on the board. Wright was appointed to the board in early 2007 to complete an unexpired term. She ran unopposed that fall. She ran unopposed in 2011 as well. In 2015, she was challenged by attorney John Branquin, but she won with 64.7% of the vote. Of the three board member positions up for election this year, she is the only incumbent who is planning to run for re-election. The official filing period is May 13th through the 17th. The general election is on November 5th. The irrigation season kicked off this week in Douglas County. The Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District is beginning to fill their network of ditches. The district serves over 93,000 acres of land. It extends from the upper bench of East Wenatchee to Bray's Landing and Howard Flats. Officials noted on the district's website that due to weather conditions, they are 2 weeks behind the normal schedule. They say they hope to have everyone online by the end of this month. Meanwhile, the Wenatchee Reclamation District, they have set April 22nd as the date for filling its 34-mile-long open canal with water. The crews have been out cleaning winter debris from the district's system. The Wenatchee Reclamation District maintains over 37 miles of canals extending from Dryden to the Rock Island area. Over 5,000 customers are served. The Highline Canal has been supplying water to area orchards for over a century. In the upper Wenatchee Valley, the Icicle-Pashassin Irrigation District, their target date is April 27th. Manager Terry Yonser says the late start will also enable the district to replace hundreds of feet of old pipeline. And then this morning's feature story, we're taking a look this week on the NCW Life Channel magazine with producer Caitlin Hershey. She's profiling three local artists this morning. Let's get to know woodworker Brogan Kelly of Lake Chelan.
I'm Brogan Kelly. I've lived in Chelan for 26 years, and we are currently standing in my wood shop here out by Chelan Fruit. On October 17th, we were woken up at about 2 o'clock in the morning by the fire department. And they were like, hey, you gotta get out of your house. And I was like, why? And as soon as I came out of the bedroom, I looked through the living room window, and this place was, it was heating up the valley. It was on fire. It burned that night. They got it put out by about 4 o'clock in the morning, and my chickens were at fault for that. They decided to, use the heat lamp in other ways than what it should have been used, but that's okay. The only thing left of that building is the floor in here. And so we ended up getting this building finished probably about a month and a half ago. And we weren't really sure what we were going to do with it. It was either going to be a music studio or a photography studio, but all in all, it ended up becoming a wood shop. A lot of my background in hands-on woodworking or construction come from both my mom and my dad's side of the family. My mom's dad, he was brought up here from Nevada to build Wapato Point. And that was always part of my childhood growing up. I was out in the garage with Papa, as we called him. It just kind of started with building a small thing and cutting one thing, putting a nail in another, and that's kind of where it all began, because I wish they were here to work with me, because it'd be such an honor to work with them. Little Valley Home Services is more of a kind of a maintenance business, light finish construction, a little bit of contracting, but this hand-built cutting board, vintage antique furniture refinishing is really kind of all on its own. It's something that Little Valley Home Services kind of took on. It's not really what I was expecting the business to be, but after it got started, it's kind of what it morphed itself into. And I really enjoy it. I'm totally fine with the road that this business decided to take itself on. I kind of started out making a ton of different things, and the cutting boards were, I guess, something that just caught on. I had a lot of comments on Facebook and Instagram on them, and so then I kind of took off with it. I was like, wait a minute, let's get some nicer wood, let's get some nicer tools, and try and make these something that people would really enjoy having in their homes. There's a business downtown on the corner called Lush, and she's going to be carrying all of my finished products, and you can also place a custom order with her. And if you're wanting to just kind of see how they're used, I talked to a lot of people and they say, well, what's a charcuterie board? And to be honest, when I started, I didn't know. But Local Myth is also having a bunch of them made, because they're going to start serving some different charcuterie dishes this summer. So you can go into Local Myth and check them out. They're going to have some really neat ones done here soon. I'm actually going to get started on those next week. But if you're looking to purchase one, you can get a hold of Jody down at Lush, and she can take custom orders, or you can check out her store and kind of see what she's got in stock. It's an honor to have someone come to me and ask me to build them something that I know is going to be in their kitchen and in their home for years. And I just hope that when people come to me and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is the kind of wood that I want, this is the shape that I wanted, or the thickness, or whatever, I hope it's something that stays in their family for years, and not because I made it, but because it was handmade.
This is an episode you don't want to miss. All the NCW Life Channel magazines you don't want to miss. Again, all this week on the NCW Life magazine, 3 artists of local renown are being profiled. You can watch it on demand by going to our website at ncwlife.com, or, as we like to say in the business, check local listings for air times. Check out the bottom of your screen. That's how you get a hold of us here at the NCW Life channel. Email us, news@ncwlife.com. Go to our Facebook page and drop us a line via our message. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call. We hang around here most of the time, except during the noon hour. We like to nap then. I'm kidding. Or you can just go to our website at ncwlife.com, and click on the Get a Hold of Us icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen and drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget the news with Grant Olson at 5, 6, and 10. 5, 6, and 10. Grant in the anchor chair, also handling the weather forecast. It's 37 degrees. Outside is 20 minutes After the hour, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, sports, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 21 minutes after the hour. Let's do sports. Tim Beckham's 2-run double capped a 4-run first inning, and Felix Hernandez pitched well on the mound. M's beat the Angels 6-3 at T-Mobile Park last night. For Felix, Monday's win ended a draw going all the way back to last season. The veteran pitcher went the final 3 months of last season without a victory, ended up being relegated to the bullpen. He had to overcome 4 errors by his defense to open his 15th Major League season with a victory. He allowed 1 earned run, 7 hits, 5 1/3 innings, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Mariners are 6-1 with the win. That ties the best start in franchise history with the 84, 85, and 95 clubs. The home run total now is up to 15. Jay Bruce hit a 2-run shot in the 7th to provide a little cushion for King Felix. Seattle and LA finished a quick 2-game series tonight. Marco Gonzalez and Trevor Cahill will toe the rubber. First pitch at 7:10. The Wenatchee Wild hoping to do something for only the second time in the BCHL postseason. That's win for the second game in a row. Wenatchee is at the Cal Tire Place tonight. Vernon, British Columbia, Game 3 of their Interior Division Final Series with the Vipers. Not since the final 2 games of their series with West Kelowna have the Wild been able to put wins together. The series, of course, is tied to the game apiece. Vernon edging Wenatchee in Game 1 in overtime on Saturday. And then the Wild came back for the 3-0 shutout on Sunday. Game time, 7 o'clock for both tonight and tomorrow. Game 4 in Vernon, Game 5 back here. You can watch the action on Hockey TV, listen to it live with our checker on 560 KPQ throughout North Central Washington. Win or lose, of course, the series definitely is back for Game 5 Friday at the Town Toyota Center. By the way, tickets are available now for just $10 each. One score from the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard. Wenatchee came back and scored in the bottom of the 7th to defeat Davis at Rec Park 3-2 yesterday. And on the base, and also, as you see, we have 1 game today. That's it. Cashmere plays at Zilla at 2 o'clock. Prep soccer, though, pretty full schedule. Cashmere's on the road at Royal. They have a 1 o'clock kickoff. Eastmont travels to Ike, 7 o'clock tonight. Wenatchee is home. Leap off the field at the Apple Bowl for a matchup against Moses Lake. We will have it live right here on the NCW Live channel. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen on the play-by-play. Watch it all on your home for local sports. That's us. The NCW Live channel will start at 7 o'clock. It's spring break, of course, so that means not a lot going on. In fact, there's only 1 softball matchup to tell you about in Chelan this morning at 11 o'clock. A couple of games between the Goats and Granite Falls. And here's what we have on tap for our TV schedule of sports this week. Again, soccer tonight, and then we'll feature Game 1 of the series between Wenatchee and Vernon. That'll be Thursday night, because Thursday night's hockey night. You can check that out at 7 o'clock. On Friday, we'll have Eastmont baseball against Sunnyside at 7. And then Saturday at 7, Game 2 between the Wild and the Vipers from the Town Toyota Center. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday. The obscure holiday today is International Children's Book Day. International Children's Book Day, because this marks the birthday of Hans Christian Andersen, probably the most famous children's book author ever. I think he has a claim to that. He was born in the state in 1805. Of course, you want to encourage kids to read. If you instill the love of books in children early on, they pretty much carry that with them for the rest of their lives. And this is a perfect week to do it because it's spring break. And with some of the cloudy and cool and rainy weather coming up, it might be a good time to instill the love of reading into kids. Of course, it makes you smarter, makes you more rounded, and it promotes a lifetime of learning and enjoyment. Libraries all across the world are celebrating this day. So find a book maybe that you liked as a kid, or maybe try and figure out what kind of book that your kid might like, and steer them in that direction. Go to the library, check out a couple of books, put them in the kids' hands, and say, go get them. Get the love of reading instilled in those kids early on. Today is International Children's Book Day. Today it is 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, 102 years ago today, we're in. Yep, somebody's got to put the kibosh to the Kaiser, and we figured out, well, the French and the English aren't going to be able to do it on their own, so yeah, we're in. The United States President Woodrow Wilson formally asked the U.S. Congress for a declaration of war on Germany. They eventually did. We eventually went over there. Yeah, the Yanks finally came and turned the tide, and, well, we won. Kind of, I guess. Didn't prevent the Second World War. But 102 years ago today, Woodrow Wilson asked the Congress to declare war on Germany. Congress reciprocated, and we were in World War I, which at that time was known as the Great War. There was another war that wasn't so great. In fact, it may very well be the silliest war ever. That's when Argentina, we didn't need to fix that. The Falklands War started on this day back in 1982. Just stupid. Argentina invaded the Falkland Islands. England says the Falkland Islands belong to us, and Argentina says no, they belong to us, and so they started a war over it. Just a windswept, barren bunch of rocks in the South Atlantic. It may have been a strategic outpost for the British Navy in 1850, but by 1982, it was just nothing. It was just sheep and a couple of buildings. Why would anybody want to fight over this island? In fact, Jorge Luis Borges, the famous Argentinian novelist, said, the Falkland Wars was a fight between two bald men over a comb, which is about what it was. But it started on this date, 37 years ago today. And 24 years ago today, April 2nd, 1995, the longest strike in sports history came to an end. The first 23 days of the Major League Baseball season was already wiped off the map. Of course, the 252 games from the 1994 season was lost. The owners accepted the players' decision to return to work. It was all after U.S. District Court Judge Sonia Sotomayor. She issued an injunction that restored the terms and conditions of the previous collective bargaining agreement. Remember, the players played without a CBA throughout the course of the 1994 season. The conversation broke down. Eventually, the players went out on strike on August 12, 1994. They stayed on strike until April 2nd, 1995, when they went back to work. Basically, the players got what they wanted. I hated that strike. It stunk. Finally, we got some birthdays for you. 4 people who have absolutely nothing in common. Buddy Ebsen was born on this day. There's Buddy, born on this date in 1908. Lived a long time, lived to the age of 95. Of course, probably always best known as Jed Clampett, the patriarch of the Beverly Hillbillies. Of course, Barnaby Jones back in the 1970s. And of course, he was the original Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. He was allergic to the makeup. He had to drop out of the production. Jack Haley Jr. took over. But he's still in The Wizard of Oz. There's a couple of scenes when they go down the yellow brick road and they're shot from behind, and you can't see their faces. And the Tin Man is not Jack Haley Jr. It's Buddy Ebsen, who was born in this state in 1908. Alec Guinness was born in this state in 1914. Lived a long time, too. Lived to the age of 86. Won the Academy Award for Best Actor for Bridge on the River Kwai. One of the all-time great movies was in Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Zhivago, but probably best known as Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. Alec Guinness was born in this state in 1914. Jack Webb was born in this state in 1920. Of course, he'll always be Sergeant Joe Friday in Dragnet. Not only did he play Sergeant Joe Friday, he produced and directed every episode. He was in charge. It was his show, Dragnet, the original incarnation in the 1960s reboot. Jack Webb, born in this state in 1920, and we miss Marvin Gaye. Alongside Sam Cooke and Stevie Wonder, the giant in soul music, rock and roll as well, the great Marvin Gaye was born in this state in 1939. Pride and Joy, Ain't That Peculiar, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Let's Get It On, Got to Give It Up, and the all-time classic album, What's Going On. Marvin Gaye was shot to death by his father one day short of his 45th birthday back in 1984 and inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987, the legend Marvin Gaye. Before we take a break, find out what's on Mike Magnotti's mind, a reminder about Campbell's. Campbell's Resort at beautiful Lake Chelan. You see, it's the destination, Gil, the locals discount. The locals discount. It starts at just $95 a night. That is a steal. And it's Campbell's, who are going to just spoil you with luxury, with the fantastic food and the great rooms and the comfortable beds and the incredible view. And it's right in the heart of downtown Chelan. Of course, Campbell's has been around for 118 years. They know what they're doing. This is for locals only, and it expires April 15th. So give yourself a getaway. Head up on a weekday or a weekend. Head on up to Campbell's, spend a couple of days there, get away from it all, chill, relax, and enjoy the locals discount. Give Campbell's a call. Ask about it. Tell them, hey, I live here in the North Central Washington area, and I want to stay at Campbell's, and I want a good deal. They're going to give you one. Give Campbell's a call. Ask about the locals discount. 31 minutes after the hour. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. And then my conversation with Alan Walker, the Executive Director of the Community Action Council of Chelan and Douglas counties, coming up between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and the floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time, Mary Maids.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Harris.
Catch us on LocalTel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
Did you know that dental disease is the #1 illness affecting a pet's health? Bacteria from the mouth gets carried into your pet's blood and can affect the heart, lungs, and kidneys. By age 3, nearly 75% of pets have some form of dental disease. Dr. Shauna Bass and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital care about your pets, and good dental care can help your pet live a long and happy life. Learn how to clean your pet's teeth or see what Paws and Claws can do to keep your pet smiling by calling 888-PAWS or see us on the corner of 4th and Island, East Wenatchee.
Corey here from Rose Tractor, your local Cub Cadet dealer. We've got the all-new Cub Cadet Ultima zero-turn mowers in stock, and they are awesome. The Ultima is like no other zero-turn you've seen. With a box tube frame and available Kawasaki engine, it has unmatched strength and performance, cutting up to 50% faster than lawn tractors. You have to see the Cub Cadet Ultima to believe it. Come on down and experience the Cub Cadet Ultima today.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV Advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm not rich by any means, but, you know, I do know where I'm going to go to sleep tonight. It'll be in a warm, safe place. I have a pretty good job. My car starts right away, and I have more than enough clothes to wear, believe it or not. Now, all in all, my life is pretty comfortable. And I like it that once in a while, my wife and I can afford to go out to eat. And so when I do, I leave at least a 20% tip. You know, I figure for some wait persons, this might be their first entry-level job. My waitress might be a single mom or a single dad, you know. The waiter or waitress might be somebody working a second job just to make ends meet. So always, and especially when I say grace at a restaurant, particularly then, I try to be a good tipper. God forbid a waitress should think that Christians are only generous with their talk. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Lake Chelan Mailboxes is a small place with a lot to offer. Job one is shipping and receiving from A to Z. They pack it, they label it, they ship it. But did you know we also offer notary service, online computer access, legal forms, copies, greeting cards, and of course, mailboxes. Chelan Mailboxes, everything you need in one small package.
SkillSource specializes in assessing and guiding youth, adults, and laid-off workers who want to improve their skills. Here you can attend in-depth workshops to assess skills and interests, make career plans, and learn computer basics.
Learning centers provide eligible youth and adults individualized computer-assisted basic education. Vocational training is arranged with approved providers like community colleges or on the job with businesses.
Don't wait any longer. Let's get working on the future you've been dreaming about.
Welcome back to Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. The Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council has a brand new slogan. It used to be try our thick, creamy shakes. And now it's helping people, changing lives. I like the second one better.
You like the second one better? I kind of like the creamy shake one, though.
Yeah, sounds good about
that. Sounds good. A hot fudge milkshake. Hey,
it's my friend Alan Walker, who's been on this show many, many times before. He's the executive director of Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council. I saw you at the KPQ Home Expo a couple weeks ago, and I said, come on and do the show, and you said no.
No, I don't want to do that, Dan. I prefer not to. I prefer to stay, out of the light and not tell people the great things that are going on. So, yes, but
You're
here
busy.
I am.
And for the uninitiated, for those who don't remember, what exactly does the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council do, Alan Walker?
Oh, wow. One of our promise, not many organizations have a promise, but we do. And our promise really is to embody the spirit of hope for our community and really help change lives and help people help themselves, but also help each other. And that's really what we're here to do. And one of the ways that we do that is trying to understand what it is that folks in our community need. What are we struggling with? What do people need help with? And how can we as an organization respond to those needs, or how can we partner with other organizations to address those?
And the number one thing that's been going on with this is people can't afford to live here. It's taking way too much of their monthly income is going towards rent as opposed to stuff, That's the number one thing.
That's the number one thing. Yeah. Yes, that's the number one thing. Unfortunately, we have a number of folks, several hundred folks, unfortunately, looking for housing, trying to find a place to live. And it's extremely difficult right now. The housing market is very tight, as you well know, and it's no surprise to the listeners as well. The Our Valley, Our Future project just did about an 18-month-long study on the housing situation here, trying to figure out solutions to address that. But in the meantime, that's not helping folks that are trying to find a place to live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what really has tied all this together. We got a press release from our friend Steve Maher from the Our Valley, Our Future, talking about this survey that is out there now for you to take online. First of all, what is the survey, number one, and number two, why should people take it?
Number one, the survey is approximately 30 questions. We're really trying to understand some of the barriers that folks are experiencing trying to access services in our community, and areas where there's opportunity for improvement, opportunity to fill a gap, what's not being addressed, what's not being served, are there new barriers, new threats to people's livelihood that is coming up that we need to be aware of. And that's one of the beauties of Community Action Council is our organization across the country, we are one of over 1,000 community action councils across the country, is really in the community to adapt as the needs change. And we've been here since the mid-1960s, since 1965, and there were things that we were doing a few years ago that we aren't doing today, and things that we aren't doing today that we'll be doing tomorrow, so to speak. And that's really where the survey comes to play and helps us understand what the needs are in the community. And if we aren't able to address that, who can we turn to in our community to help with those needs?
30 questions. Are they pretty generic? Do they? Is it straightforward? Is it fill in the blank, or is it pick A, B, C, or D? What kind of?
A little bit of both,
Okay.
or all three, I guess I should say. Some of it is check the box. Some is select as many as you want. Others are open-ended and trying to really get a clearer picture. We did a series of focus groups as well, 7 or 8 different focus groups, and we ended up talking with, oh gosh, probably close to 60 people during those focus groups. And the discussions that they were bringing up, the areas of concern, the areas of opportunities that were brought up during those focus groups really became the guide to building the survey questions. And so we listened to what people had to say in the community and said, okay, these are things that are bubbling up over and over in each of these focus groups. Let's take those questions to the broader community. And that was the platform to build the survey, if you will.
This is something that is required by the federal government every 3 years.
It is required because community action councils were formed under a congressional legislation back in the early 1960s, and as such, we are bound to perform certain duties every so often, and we receive both federal, state, and local dollars, and part of our responsibility back to our funders is to say, here's what we're hearing from the community, here's how we're responding to that. So every 3 years we go through this process, and then it helps our board of directors and our staff develop our strategic plan, objectives for our organization and moving forward, and how can we better serve the community.
Are you expecting, do you go into these surveys having a general idea what's going to come out on the other end, or is always a couple of surprises along the way?
You know, I would say there's always a couple surprises. It's, I think we have a pretty good idea of what we anticipate to hear from the community, but there's always one or two that are a surprise. And you know, I mentioned about the adaptability. A few years ago, we were providing legal services, volunteer-free legal services. Well, now we have volunteer attorney services, and they are much better equipped to perform that task.
In fact, they just won the Nonprofit of the Year.
They
at the
did.
Chamber Banquet.
They did. Just last week, last Thursday, Nonprofit of the Year. So hats off to Eloise and her team there. And so we just say, you know what, you guys are doing that better. We will refer people to you. We'll partner with you. They have been on site. We'll make a space available for them in our office building there, and they can come in and directly serve people right on site as well with us. So that's just an example of how we change to the needs or partner with other organizations.
You need views from across the board, across the spectrum, from everybody. You know, you see people say, I'm fine. I got a lovely wife and 2 lovely kids, and they go to school and get good grades, and I have a good job, and she has a good job, and I don't really need the services that the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council provides, so why do I care? They should care.
They should care. You know, it's all about community, and we should really care about what each of our neighbors is experiencing, the challenges that they are encountering, and the opportunities that are there for them to be successful. So while you and I may be doing just fine ourselves, how's our neighbor doing? And what are we hearing in conversations through our faith community, through our work community, through our family, and through our friends to better inform those of us that are trying to help to address those needs.
Mm-hmm. So everybody should take this.
Everybody should take this. Everybody should take this. It's available in both English and Spanish. Those are 2 languages that we have it available in. And we really want to hear from as many people as possible. I think the more voices that are at the table, the better we are able to understand the needs.
You brought a really cool letter. One of the things that the Community Action Council does is they, for low-income people, they help you weatherize your house, which is critically important. This is a really nice little letter. You want to go ahead and you don't have to read the whole thing. But give us a gist of what Rob wrote here.
Sure. So this is a letter from someone that we recently helped his mom weatherize her home. And I'll just kind of read the middle here. She says, while it took some time, each step along the way was thoroughly explained and any inconvenience minimized by the efforts of each person involved. Jim and Brian, two folks on our staff, were great in their field, as was Rob. We had some enjoyable conversations along the way. Everyone involved was very kind and patient with my 87-year-old mom and happily answered her repeated questions. She says, my mom loves her new windows, heating system, and cozy, comfortable home. You've made a wonderful difference in her life.
And that's an example of what you guys do.
Example of what we do, yes.
Is there other examples of what you do besides helping this woman get her house tidied up and weatherproof so she doesn't get sky-high electrical bills?
Absolutely. You know, that is one example. Our weatherization crew is a crew of 3 or 4 guys. They do about 12 homes every quarter. So they are busy, if you think about that from a construction standpoint. We also provide energy assistance this time of year, particularly October through March or April. Folks that are needing a little assistance with their energy bills. Literacy Council, which is coming up with a fundraiser here next month. We have the AmeriCorps program. Mm-hmm. So we have about 15 AmeriCorps members serving in our area here, providing assistance to educational fields and nonprofits. We also have a food distribution center. So we don't operate any food banks. We don't hand out food directly to you, Dan, but we provide food to the food banks that are. Okay. About 1.5 million pounds of food we distribute a year throughout Chelan-Douglas County, from Rock Island all the way up to Mansfield.
That was going to be my next question. What's your footprint? But it's called Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council, so that would be a stupid question on my part.
It is, but our work also folds over into Grant, Okanagan, Lincoln, and Ferry County, or Lincoln and Adams County, excuse me, with our RSVP program particularly.
Do people who benefit from what you people do turn around and help you guys out? Does that happen a lot? Boy, the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council certainly came through for me when I really needed it. They helped me out and they helped me change my life. I want to give them a little something back for making things happen for me. Does that happen?
Absolutely. Yeah. We actually have our board structure is mandated that 1/3 of our board is elected officials. 1/3 are people experiencing poverty or have experienced poverty, and then the other 1/3 is just general public, if you will. So we have one of our board members who immigrated here from Mexico with her family when she was very young. The family struggled, accessed Community Action Council for a variety of different programs. She went on to college, and now she is employed by the University of Washington, lives here in our valley, and she's serving on our board now. So that is an example of somebody that has gone through and now is serving and giving back by being on our board.
There are success stories out there.
There are.
Absolutely.
That is just one.
Talk about the spelling bee. This is cool. This is coming up on Friday, April 12th.
Friday, the April 12th, the spelling bee, the 14th annual spelling bee, in support of our literacy program, adult literacy, for adults 18 and over looking to improve their language skills. We support them, really tailor our literacy classes to what their needs are. So they may be looking for being able to read it to their children at night. In English, or maybe they're trying to improve their work and job skills, or maybe we've had people just coming in wanting to pass a driver's test. If you're trying to take a driver's test, it's helpful to understand English. So on Friday, April the 12th, we are hosting our 14th annual fundraiser, the Spelling Bee, dinner, auction, fine food, fine beverages, silent auction, live auction, and then the Spelling Bee Challenge. And fortunately for you and I, Dan, it's not an individual spelling bee, it's a team approach, a hive, if you will, the Spelling Bee Hive. So each table works together to spell the words. And the last table standing wins a prize of books.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful, wonderful, fun event. It's going to be held down at the Pipists Event Center in their new facility there.
Local Tel Event Center.
Local Tel Event Center. Yes, it is. Yes.
Friday, April 12th. That'll be a lot of fun. How do you sign up? How do you get a team together and do all that stuff?
It's easy to sign up. You can on the computer, Google literacycouncilcd.org, or call 682-6966.
And we got to wrap things up with Alan by going back to where we began. The survey, how do you take the survey? Where do you go? How much does it cost? That stuff. You got to fill in the blanks there.
You got to fill in the blanks there. The cost is free of charge.
Good.
All it takes is a little bit of your time. There's a link from our website, cdcac.org. There's a link to access the survey right from there.
And then you're going to have a little get-together on the 9th and unveil the results.
Not unveil the results on the 9th. It's just a community forum on the 9th, just to, again, gather some feedback, promote the survey, let folks have an opportunity to see the results of what we learned during the focus groups, chime in on those issues and any others that they want to bring forward. So yes, that'll be on Tuesday, April the 9th, 5:30 to 7 at the Wenatchee Community Center.
Do you, when is the actual survey done?
The survey, I believe it closes April 25th.
Okay, so get on it.
Get on it. We're going to keep it open through most of the month of April, but it will be closing April 25th.
When this thing is done, can you come back in and unveil the results?
We would love to come back in and reveal the results. What we've learned from it is, like anything, give us a day or two to crunch through that
That's going to be a lot of spreadsheets and a lot of that.
Thank goodness for Steve Maher. We contracted with Steve to help on this, and he's been great to work with.
Can you take it anonymously? Do you have to chime in and tell people who you are?
You can take it anonymously. There's some demographic questions like there is with any survey.
How old are you?
How old, yes. Your zip code that you reside in. But yes, you do not have to put a name associated with the survey. You can do it anonymously.
Alan Walker, the Executive Director of the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council, helping people changing lives. Try their thick, creamy shakes. And if you want to help them out, you want to volunteer, you think maybe you could help Alan out, or Alan's organization can help someone out that you know, like this lovely lady who needed her house weatherized, get a hold of them.
Give us a call, 662-6156.
That's what they're there for.
Yes, we are.
That's what they're there for.
Every
day. Maybe one of these days we'll just get you right out of business. Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be great?
It ain't
That would
gonna
be,
happen,
I'd love to lock the door and say we're done.
We're done, but no, the need is there.
The need is there, it is, yes.
Alan, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Dan.
You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station. Welcome back. About 4 minutes left on this award-winning program. Some housekeeping before we get to the weather forecast. First of all, tomorrow's guests on my show will be, this show's going to the dogs. A Chelan County Sheriff's Deputy and his canine companion will be joining me on this program. The annual Canine and Wines event is coming up next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend at the local Event Center at the Pybus Public Market. It's when everybody gets together and have some wine and some gourmet food and some cheese, and all of it is to raise money so the Chelan County Sheriff's Office can get more canines. So I'm looking forward to that. That visit will be tomorrow on this program. Friendly reminder, you got about 24 more hours to get your entries in to see The Illusionists. Look at the bottom of your screen. That's the email address, winner@ncwlife.com. Winner@ncwlife.com. The Illusionists, the incredible Just Off of Broadway show, is coming to the Town Toyota Center this Thursday night. It's one of the hottest tickets in town. And I got 4 tickets, so I'm going to give away 2 pairs. There'll be 2 winners, and I'm going to draw them out of the proverbial hat tomorrow at this time, at the very end of our live edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll draw 2. We'll print up all the emails. We'll put them all in a big hat. We'll draw 2 names out. Each of those people, 2 of them, are going to win a pair of tickets to see The Illusionists. Remember, it's 1 entry per email address. 1 entry per email address. Don't stuff the box. We will catch you if you do. And tomorrow at this time, we will draw names. And I'll give away a couple pair of tickets to see The Illusionists on Thursday night at the Town Toyota Center. All right, let's take a look at your work. Let's take a look at your weather forecast for the National Weather Service. Not a lot happening today. Partly cloudy. It's going to be dry. It's going to be mild. That 66 is above normal. We had 65 yesterday. But starting later on tonight and especially Wednesday, here comes a weather system. Not a big weather system. It's kind of slow poking its way here into north central Washington. So starting tomorrow, we're going to cool down. We're going to cloud up, and we could get some rain, especially on Wednesday afternoon. Also a little breezy at times as the system pays us a visit. So Wednesday, 40% chance of showers, lots of clouds, high of 62. A little bit of rain and a little bit of wind expected Wednesday night. Certainly cloudy, 41, but the overnight low. Thursday, mostly cloudy. Chance of rain goes down about 20%. We should be dry Thursday, about a high of about 59 degrees. But this low pressure is going to kind of just keep feeding clouds into our way on Thursday night. Chance of rain goes back up to 50%, the overnight low about 44. Best chance of significant rain at this point in the forecast. That could change, but as of now, Friday and Friday afternoon, it looks like we're going to be quite wet with a high of about 56 degrees. So we're going to cool down about 10 degrees by the time we get to Friday. The rain spills into Friday night, and then it spills into Saturday, and then it spills into Saturday night. So once we get past today with some intermittent sun breaks, that's it for the sun. It's going to take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even next Monday off. Again, the wettest day so far in the forecast looks to be Friday, but we're going to have hit and miss showers starting Wednesday and lasting all the way through Monday, which is okay because, quite frankly, even though we had that cold and very snowy March, we're a little behind on our annual rainfall. Yeah, we are. We're behind on the annual rainfall, so we'll see if we can get caught up. Once again, our friends from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office and their K-9 folks will be in tomorrow on Wednesday's show. Thursday, Pat Quinn Williams and Jessica Johnson will be dropping by. The annual MS Walk is coming up, and also we'll be checking in with Lisa Bradshaw via Skype, the host with Life with Lisa show, as her Don't Wait project continues. Everybody have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.